Hello guys, welcome back to the next episode of our Julia tutorial. And so far we really worked with numbers and strings and we explained all the data types. But today we come to a real powerful basic concept, and this concept is variables. And as what you can expect, variables is like a container, and in this container you can put in whatever you want. And that we will do today. And now I will show you how to create a variable. For this we just give our container a name like this here. Then we write here an equal sign here. And we get out what we want to put in. We can put in numbers, for example. Here 17. Or we can also make a variable message. You can name it whatever you want. It doesn't matter, but it makes sense to give it a name so you know what is inside of the variable. And here we can put in a string, for example, like this is a message. And a special feature for Julia is we can also use signs as variable name. For example, P, we make here P and tab. And then we have here P, and here we can give in the number. P is 3.14159 and so on. I don't want to write here much more, but this P already shows you that it can be really comfortable in Julia, because otherwise you always have to type here this number of P, but now you can calculate with this. You can say, for example, here our result is n multiplied by p, and then it's in result. And if we run this now by doing Julia variables.jl, it looks like nothing will happening. Why? Because we forgot a computer to teach to show us the result. So we make here our print line, and now we want to print our result. And we get an error. I print ln, of course, here. Typo by me, and then we see here the result which was calculated already. Same, we can print here our message, print line, message, and you can see here this is a message as we wanted to have it. Of course, we can combine this also. So print line, then we make a string. Our result is, then we make here we make a space in and put in here our result. We print this now, then we can see here our result is 53.40. That's already all you have to know for variables. One last thing I want to discuss in this tutorial is, I said you should always choose a name for variables that you can easily understand, but you're also a bit limited by doing it because there are some rules to choose it. And the first one is we cannot put a number in front of a name, or we cannot start a variable name with a number. If you try, for example, 3p is 3, then we get here already the notification. And if we run it, then we get here an error message. 3 is not a valid function argument name. So it cannot start with 3. Same is, there are some signs which are forbidden for variables. For example, here the @ sign. If we run this, Then we also get here an error, the @ sign is forbidden here. The last one is, there are some code words in Julia which are used. One of this, for example, is struct. And if I want to put this as variable name, you can see it already here at the color, that it's forbidden. And if we run this, it will also tell us here an error. Here, unexpected equal sign. So this means also. But don't worry too much about this. You don't have to have all words in mind, because you will always get an error if you try to run it. And so usually you just should write here complete names, where you can expect something, what is in the variable. Here, for example, like message. If you want to make it longer, you can write here message, for example, from Heidi. So we write here message Heidi with underscore is one method. You can also write it like this with capital letter to identify it. Don't make it too long, because if you have a really long name, you always have to type a lot when you want to use the variable. But that is all what you know. And then with this, we will go on in the next tutorial. In the next tutorial, we will work with strings and look what operations we can do with strings. Don't miss this. I would be happy if you would subscribe my channel, leave me a like here, and see you next time. Bye.